Good morning, everyone, and happy National Entrepreneurs Day, an annual event occurring on the third Tuesday of November. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Ruth Elinski, Center Director and Certified Business Analyst here at the Small Business Development Center at Yavapai College. And I'm happy to be here today for our weekly or bi-weekly coffee chat in celebration of National Entrepreneurs Day. And we have some special guests that I'm going to interview this morning. But before I do that, in preparation for this morning's coffee chat, I looked up the word entrepreneur just to kind of see what the meaning was behind that. And believe it or not, it's a French word that means undertake. So as an entrepreneur myself, and having met and worked with so many entrepreneurs and small business owners, I can certainly agree that entrepreneurship is a true undertaking, which leads me into the introduction of our special guests this morning, both having undertaken a unique business venture. They're the recent winners of the 2022 Moonshot Pioneer Pitch Verde Valley event and owners of Go Bananas food truck. So please welcome Lisa Bastian and Samantha Belcourt. Congratulations to you both and welcome to this morning's coffee chat.
Thank you. Good morning. Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining us. So what I thought we'd do in celebration of National Entrepreneurs Day is just hear a little bit about your story and your brand and your success with Moonshot. So tell us a little bit about how you became entrepreneurs.
Well, I was a realtor actually before I started the food truck. And so I really got the experience of running my own business through being a realtor and basically building the confidence to run your own business. And I just really wanted to be my own boss. I know a lot of people say that, but it really just having the freedom, I guess, even though it's a huge undertaking, but having the freedom to do basically to put out a product or a service, something that you can completely control. And so I got a lot of confidence being able to, I guess when Sam came with the idea of the chocolate dip bananas would make an amazing food truck idea, I really took my confidence from running my own business into starting a food truck because we really had no idea how to run a food truck or even dip a chocolate banana. And so we had to learn a lot and teach ourselves a lot about that part of the business. But I really love being an entrepreneur and having that freedom and putting out a really good product and running a good business the way that I think it should be run. And I wanted to take it and do it bigger and better. And so that was really fun to be able to start the business and run with it like that.
I think what's really cool is that so many of our clients at SBDC have similar starts where they go through this like trial and error period, right? Where you have this idea, but it requires you to test the waters and try different things, and you fail and then you pick yourself up and you go at it again, right? I'm sure that you've had that kind of experience. So you all just officially moved to the Verde Valley this year. You brought your business with you. Share a bit about your business model and how is it going for you here in the Verde?
Well, actually, we first came down to the Verde Valley. Well, let me back it up a little bit. So initially when the business, we first launched the food truck, Lisa, I was still working in Minneapolis full time. And Lisa brought the food truck down here to the East Valley area, Mesa, Phoenix, that area. And she was operating there during the winter. And then we'd bring the food truck back to Minnesota for the summer, kind of do the seasonal thing there.
In 2017.
In 2017, and then she did it again in 2018. And so after doing that a couple times, we've always come to the Verde Valley for years on vacation. We love this area. We love the access to everything. The community is always great. It's been wonderful. So in 2020, we decided to bring the business down here pretty much full time. Instead of bouncing back and forth, we decided to come down here. And so we made the move, and
you just couldn't resist it.
Exactly. There was a pull. And I think sometimes life will send you those messages and those signals of a different path that you don't maybe hadn't thought about or even considered as an option. And that was one of those things that kind of came up, and we jumped on it. We said, you know what, we're in a position to be able to do this. Let's do it. And so in the fall of 2020, we brought the business down here, and we've been operating it about 9 months out of the year here. The summer's a little too hot for
so
the
it's not as seasonal, maybe not as seasonal here.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously it's going to be better than the 3-month season that we had in Minnesota.
Yeah.
But what's great about that is we really have established, I think, in the last almost 2.5, almost 3 seasons that we've been here, just a really good relationship with the community. Yeah. It has been wonderful. And
we love the Verde Valley and everything it has to offer.
Yes.
Not only the weather being great, but the resources here. The more we were here, the more we realized as a small business, the resources that were here, the people, the community, especially Cottonwood, Camp Verde, and Clarkdale have all been so welcoming. I mean, the whole Verde Valley, but like just a welcoming community, and have really welcomed us with open arms. Like our business and the support that we get here from the Verde Valley has just, it's made it as an easier transition personally and with the business.
That's great.
And I think you asked about the business model as well, and I didn't answer that. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, so the business model with the food truck, what's unique about a mobile food vendor is that you take your business to the people. So instead of having a storefront or a brick and mortar where you're constantly having to bring your customers to you, and you're hoping that they will stop at your restaurant versus the one that's 2 stores down. And so it's a totally different aspect to marketing. It's a different aspect to even just having hours, your business hours. And so the business model for us has been really great, because we love being able to work at the different events. You bounce around, and then you end up having customers that will try you at an event that maybe they normally don't try food trucks, or they would have never thought to come into your storefront had you had a storefront. And now they're just like, oh, wow, this is amazing. I'm so glad I tried you. So that's really interesting as well.
Yeah. And I would say coming out of the pandemic, there were a lot of new business starts that we saw in the mobile food arena, which is kind of a trending piece. But I would say I haven't seen the frozen banana concept here. So it definitely is a great fit. It's kind of filling a niche, right? So I mentioned that you all were the winners of this year's, the 2022 Moonshot Pioneer Pitch event, which is hosted and sponsored by the Verde Valley Regional Economic Organization. So tell me, why did you decide to participate? What was the driving force there?
Well, for about 2 years, I kept seeing the advertisements for the Moonshot and the SBDC program and stuff like that. And I just it always kept popping up. So it was like, oh, I really want to be a part of that. Like, that looks amazing. And that could really help us take our business to the next level. And so, unfortunately, we weren't residents at the time, and I didn't, watching the programs go through and stuff, we didn't qualify necessarily. And I don't think we were really ready, because we were still testing out the Verde Valley and making our decision to move here. So once we became residents this last fall, I jumped on the opportunity to be a part of the Moonshot. I had always thought about being on Shark Tank, or what it would be like if I could. And this was obviously a mini version of it, but it really helped put me in that mindset and preparing for pitching to investors or to other companies and just to the public. it was such a great opportunity, and I just knew I had to be a part of it.
So yeah, you kind of touched on it a little bit, but how has the program supported you and your steps forward? I mean, why should other people participate? Because we host that event every year in the Verde, and then we have the Quad Cities pitch event coming up in February. And what if you were to talk to other entrepreneurs right now, why would you encourage them to participate?
Well, I can't speak highly enough about the program and the people, really. The people that are involved in that program, the resources, I guess, that are there, you should take advantage of it, I guess, and be a part of it, because it's only gonna help you advance your business or even start your business, because those resources have things to offer that you might think as a business owner, oh, I can do that myself, or I don't need them, or whatever. But in all reality, I believe strongly that every small business in the Verde Valley or in Arizona should take advantage of Moonshot, the SBDC program, because it really keeps you in check with your business, and it really makes you think about how you can propel it, and then surround yourself around experts. I mean, these mentors and these other business owners, entrepreneurs that you have access to and you can build relationships with through the Moonshot program and SBDC program. It's been amazing. And I keep recommending it to everybody. That I have small businesses that come to me still, just asking me for help and guidance. And the SBDC and the Moonshot program is one of the number one places that I send them.
Yeah, for sure. We're each other's resources, right? I mean, I think that's kind of what happens is when you start connecting with other entrepreneurs, you really start to lean on each other on best practices and what's working and what's not. And, what technology are you using? Who's your, digital media support, those kinds of things. It's nice to be able to rely on other folks in the network.
Yeah, so I think it's very important as a small business to surround yourself around a team of experts, or it's like having a guy or a girl for everything, like a bookkeeper, accountant, a business analyst, a marketing person, all those different things. So surround yourself around a really good team of experts and people that know more than you, and that's okay, because you can learn from them. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sam, I'll turn it over to you. What is the best advice you could give another budding entrepreneur? Because I know you've got another kind of business idea. We won't get into that today, but I know you've started, right? So you've got some other ideas in the works. So what kind of advice would you give another budding entrepreneur?
Well, absolutely. So it can be really scary and overwhelming, I think, to take an idea that you have in your head and a passion that you feel and get started on that path. And I think partially it's not just so much getting started, it's staying on that path, because it's a long process. It's not like one day you say, I'm going to start a business, and then 35 minutes later, you've got everything and you go out the next day and operate it. It is a process that takes time. And I think one of the great things about your program and even just what I learned from the Moonshot being with Go Bananas was that you have ideas and you're very emotionally attached to your idea and your business and the process that you think it should go. But in reality, you're emotionally attached to it. And being able to talk with professionals, to be able to talk with people that are experts in business in general and run stuff by them, it is really amazing what the feedback you get back. Stuff that never even occurred to you was like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. Oh, I never thought about that. So being open about your business, coming to someone like you and saying, hey, you know what? I kind of have this idea, and then talking it over with someone who can really help kind of guide you down the correct path. Because a lot of times ideas are a really big balloon or maybe an umbrella, and you kind of need to narrow it down a little bit to where, because you usually come up with an idea and you got 100 different ideas that bloom from that, and you kind of have to narrow that down, I think, really. And you guys have been such a wonderful resource with that, and the classes the program. And then of course, Moonshot, what's great about the Moonshot when you are, I think when you're just starting a business is it gives you that deadline. You have a lot to accomplish by that day and that date. And when you come out on the Friday before the final and you're pitching to a lot of the judges, you get so much information and so much wonderful feedback. And watching, when we were in the Moonshot program, watching the other businesses that were just starting, how much they improved and how much more information and knowledge they had and they were able to put forth and communicate their business idea better just in the 48 hours of that Moonshot program. Was amazing.
It's always a transition like that. And it's such a remarkable thing to see how people change over that period of time.
Yes.
It's really great. Awesome. All right. Well, here's something for you. What's next? What's next for you guys? What feels like next steps? We're always, as entrepreneurs, we're always looking ahead, right? What's next for you?
Yeah. Figuring out what the next step is.
Yeah.
No,
right.
but the next step is figuring out how we can grow our business, expand our menu and expand our reach are our next steps. And I think pursuing getting a food trailer built so that we can have a bigger kitchen space, which will allow us to expand the menu and expand our reach and travel.
And that was kind of the motives of the Moonshot pitch as well, right? Kind of bringing clarity to what those next steps are, what you need to do to expand.
Yeah. And so we're still working on that. The Moonshot, gave us the resources, the people that we should be connected with. And then it's going to take us to the next level. We just have to put some things in place still. So expanding and then getting that food trailer would be really our next steps. Yeah.
That's great. Well, I want to thank you both for sharing a bit more about your business and your upcoming plans. And again, I want to say congratulations from the SBDC team and our community for your hard work and your passion around your business. You all are doing remarkable things here, and we welcome you to the Verde Valley. I'm sure the SBDC team will be staying in touch with you, and we're here to support you in your next steps forward.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
That looks like.
Yeah,
I'm going to let you guys sign off. Thank
right,
you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. So for those of you out there with a pitch idea, an established business, or maybe you just have an idea written on a napkin, we've seen those before, the SBDC is here to support you at whatever stage of business you are in. So you may also be interested to know that, as I mentioned, the Moonshot Pioneer Pitch Quad Cities Tour Stop in partnership with Moonshot AZ will be taking place February 24th of 2023. So we're wrapping up 2022 here, and it's just a few months away. All the information and how to apply, I'll put those in the comments, the link and other information. So be sure to reach out with questions on how you can participate. This is the 4th year for the tour and the 2nd year that SBDC has brought this event to Quad Cities. Last year, as you may have heard, it was one of our very own Yavapai County businesses that won here locally and went on to compete at the statewide pitch event, winning the grand prize of $10,000. So we're really proud to have supported Elaine O'Connor, owner of Prescott Bark, on her business launch. And we know there are some very committed entrepreneurs out there in Yavapai County. And we want to support you in participating in this really fun event. Of course, more than the prize packages, this is really an opportunity for you to hone your skills, practice telling your story and your business idea, write your business plan. We have lots of resources to support you with business plan writing and financial forecasting, and really bring your business idea or expansion plans to life. So details are at azpioneerpitch.org/quad-cities. I'll put it in the comments. I just want to mention, for those of you that aren't familiar with SBDC, we do offer no cost confidential consulting to businesses of all sizes, and in all stages. So please reach out to us to schedule a meeting to discuss your needs. If you're outside of Yavapai County, there are 10 centers across the state, so we can certainly put you in touch with the one in your geographical area. If you're looking to access capital, this is something we're hearing a lot from our clients and our business network. We do have access to lenders in the area and microloan programs, including who I mentioned earlier, the Verde Valley Regional Economic Organization's microloan program. And we can help you move through the steps of accessing that capital, whether it's writing the application or helping you position yourself best for a loan. So that's another way in which we support businesses. So for those who, again, aren't familiar with our services, we have prioritized service delivery to more rural communities. So we're working with the Yavapai County Library Network, implementing the Prosper Grant, providing trainings and resources through our library network. And we were also the recipient of the Rural Business Development Grant that supports further reach to businesses and entrepreneurs across Yavapai County. So very exciting times for our Yavapai College SBDC team. And again, we're here to help you. So thanks for joining us this morning. Thanks to our guests, Go Bananas food truck owners, Lisa and Sam, for sharing a bit more about their business. And you can book them for an event or find out more about their story at gobananasfoodtruck.com. I hope everyone celebrates an entrepreneur today. I know that I will be. So find your local business owner, make a purchase from a small business, and thank them for keeping our local economies strong and vibrant on this National Entrepreneurs Day. I'll see you all next time. Thanks for tuning in.